Alright. Looks about right. Alright, we are live. Welcome, Kaldarans, to the weekly State of the Empire for the 15th of June, 2019. I would like to thank everyone who chose to attend today, from dedicated officers and support staff to the enlisted men and women of the Kaldaran Imperial Military and citizens of the Empire who have worked to make this a welcoming and cohesive community. First up on the agenda, I'd like to touch on legions. I intend to rename all the divisions and various subgroups that we've had and change their naming scheme to divisions. This will include renaming the Kaldaran 31st Guardians to the 31st Legion, and likewise for the 32nd. This change in naming convention should easily be able to be passed on to all current and future Kaldaran legions. If anyone objects to this standardization reform, I will open the floor to for you to make your case before the Assembly. I'll take that as a lack of objections.
No problem here.
Next, I would like to touch on the ranking and structure. Obviously, a few people have expressed a degree of confusion as to the exact nature of our command structure, and we have prepared a series of documents. They've been compiled by the Imperial Command, myself, the Warlord, along with review from a few select others, to act as a basic primer on the ranking and Legion command structure, all the way from civilian and Kamat up to Matrix and beyond, all the way up to the Emperor, so that everybody can understand exactly where everything fits, which I think should be particularly helpful. I'd also like to point out we have done about the same for recruitment procedures. A document will be circulating shortly to all recruiters, executive officers, and commanding officers of all legions, detailing a series of effective recruitment methods. Some of these will be tailored game specific, and those segments will be expanded upon each time the Empire acquires new territory. Following from the recruitment document, a similar one will be handed out on the note of orientation protocol and should be looked over by all orientation officers, executive officers, and commanding officers in all legions to handle the standards for a new member after they've been recruited. I'll pause here to allow anybody to raise any questions or concerns they might have about anything stated so far, I should point out.
The negotiations were short.
Remove. Now let me get a link put in before we continue, because it doesn't seem to want to give me a link to the actual... Ah, here we go. I'm just going to send that across a few different chats. Take a moment here to make sure everything's in order. Cut the long silences out of the edited version. Now, next on the agenda, I'd like to offer a couple of revisions to the issues with personnel and activity. With the obvious uptick in said activity, I suggest that we lower the inactivity limit from 60 days, 2 months, to 30 days, 1 month, without prior notice of inactivity. The shift in momentum and structure means that legions can no longer afford bloated rosters of inactive members for so long that they inevitably collapse in on themselves. As successful as our rebuilding has been, I wish to avoid it being necessary in 3 or 4 months. And I will now once again open the floor to any comments, questions, concerns, or feedback before we fully approve and enact this decision.
It sounds fair.
Keep in mind, we have no
I have
intention...
no objections here.
Very well. We have no intention of purging anybody from the Discord unless they violate basic standards of decency. What we will do, however, is remove inactives from in-game clans, specifically those with player limitations, such as Destiny 2. Now, on to the details of expansion, a personal favorite subject of mine. With the 31st and 32nd Legions approaching capacity, I think it is fair to declare that recruitment has been a major success as of late. Considering the 31st was down to 30 some odd members and is now back up into the 80s, good rebuilding efforts. A round of applause to everybody, figuratively. With that said, even success comes with a cost. Recruitment will inevitably take a hit and lead to some small degree of stagnation if we do not further expand. So I want anyone within the Empire interested in moving up the ranks or contributing to the Empire's success to step forward in the coming days. We'll be looking to send a mix of people from both the 31st and the 32nd to form the Kaldaran 33rd Legion. Once again, this will be a Guardian Legion, hopefully comprised of a wave of Kaldaran veterans, making use of our new reforms to help effectively structure and build an additional Bungie.net clan to ensure our continued growth and success in Destiny 2. If anyone wishes to provide feedback on this, the floor will again open momentarily, though I wish to recognize any dissenting opinions first, people wishing to step forward and declare candidacy for new positions second, and approving or miscellaneous opinions after that. So first, do we have any dissenting opinions of this decision? I'll take that as a no. Good. Glad to know I'm making the right calls. Next, does anybody care to declare their candidacy for the soon-to-be founding of the 33rd Kaldaran Legion?
I'm going to assume no for right now. And plus, that is a big decision to make. So I don't expect anyone to jump the gun just yet.
As I said, candidacy will be an open enrollment for quite some time. Anybody's willing to come forward and put their hat in the ring, not just now, but going forward through the future. I understand many of you have particularly involved lives. You may run console clans, for example. You may have other things that take up your time, and you're not necessarily certain that you can dedicate that time. And to make that responsible decision is entirely respectable, and there will be no judgments passed on those who say, I would love to, but I can't at this time. That being said, we will be, not just those gathered here today, which again I'd like to thank everybody in attendance, but those watching at home or who will be watching, we will be needing candidates in the near future. So, that's at least noted. Finally, the lack of dissent, I'll take that as an approval from everyone and just say, are there any extra statements that anyone would care to make on the subject of our expansion to a third Guardian Legion? Once again, I will take the silence as a no. As has been noted before, this meeting is currently being live streamed to our first YouTube channel. The link has been dropped for anybody who wishes to watch at home. All future State of the Empire meetings will be handled in a similar fashion to this, complete with live streaming and archiving for future reference. In addition, I do plan to start recording some of our gameplay sessions, both audio and video, and a few of our more interesting conversations, as I'm certain that putting them in forms of montages, recruiting videos, and a personal favorite of mine, I intend to take the best clips and assemble them into a weekly show, something along the lines of Kaldaran say the damnedest things. All of our more wacky moments put into one compressed best of series every week. Open for the
Oh, dear
public to
God.
see a glimpse of the more humorous conversations and the sense of camaraderie and joy that we have built here within the Empire and within our voice channels.
There's no way in hell.
2 a.m.
I will seek approval from all people speaking in any clip that will be used before implementing it to ensure that each member of the Empire is able to more or less control what comments they allow to slip into the public sphere. I will also do my damnedest not to strip context from any statement to avoid making any Kaldaran potential for receiving negative press or coverage from the lack of context. The media slurs more than enough people. I'd rather we not throw our hat into that ring unnecessarily. We're
Agreed.
not the mainstream media, and we're not going to put outrageous things lacking context for the sake of clicks. We won't be able to monetize whatever the hell we're throwing up anyway. The sheer content of the stupid shit that gets said in this channel will never be monetizable, I promise you that. Not through YouTube and advertising algorithms, at least. I intend for the channel as a whole to be a net positive for the Empire and a powerful additional recruiting tool. If there are any dissenting opinions or concerns regarding this decision, please speak now.
I'm good.
If I make it into any of those videos, you don't need to ask my permission. Just go ahead and put it in.
I would just
Bold,
like to.
but foolish.
I assume this was because of that one night.
Hey, shit happens,
It may
okay?
be. It may
I would
be.
just like to say there is no way in hell this will ever be able to get monetized.
Oh yeah, there is no way. The conversations that have happened in this channel are completely unsuitable for about 98% of advertisers, given how skittish they are these days.
That's why we like it.
I'm fine with the videos.
Alright.
Same here.
Next up on the agenda, I'd like to touch upon expansion. One of our obvious weak points is the fact that 99% of our recruitment is currently focused on and drawing from Destiny 2 almost exclusively. This issue is akin to a lack of genetic diversity within a species, allowing us to be wiped out by a single disease strain, or, in this case, bad decisions made by a single company outside of our control. Our health is currently and intrinsically tied to the health of Destiny 2. Mismanagement of the game could send us into oblivion at any time, and we have no active fallback position. To remedy this, I propose we move swiftly to establish a beachhead in new territory. Currently on the table are the proposals of both World of Warcraft and the Elder Scrolls Online. I know we have a few people in the Empire who play each of these games, and it may be worth consolidating who we can to form one new legion for each game to ensure the continued success of the Empire and to open up fresh recruiting grounds. If there are other titles that this assembly or the wider Kaldaran citizenry shows an interest in, then I would enjoy hearing about it. This includes opening the floor now to suggestions, and also to anyone who has not made this meeting and instead listens in after the fact, or any ideas that come to mind after the conclusion of this assembly. The suggestions channel and my DMs are always open and ready for use. That being said, is there anyone who would like the floor?
I think if we want a consistent growth, I think Warframe's always a great choice. Like it's been stable for years now. Obviously, a lot of us have come from that. A lot of us play that, even though I've been off of it for a little bit. I mean, you could easily grow, the server with recruits from Warframe.
True. Shoring up our position on Warframe would overall be a net positive, and certainly something we need to look into.
And even though we haven't, I can't even remember the name of the base in Warframe. Even though clan,
The dojo.
the dojo. Thank you. Even though our dojo is probably a little bit behind now after being away for a little bit, we still have an established dojo. That's a good start.
Absolutely. Would anyone else like the floor while we're here?
Always open to game suggestions, and remember, you can always suggest like a older game as well if it's still, going on today. Prime example, D&D Online.
I can also see an opportunity for Borderlands 3 when it is released, as there's going to be a lot of PC players.
I refuse to play until it comes out on Steam.
Yeah, we're
Likewise.
very anti-Epic Games here. Very few members of the leadership are ever going to take up that position until it comes out on Steam.
Fair enough.
What about Division 2?
It's
We
also
currently have a
exclusive.
position within Division 2. It's not Epic exclusive. You can get it through the Ubisoft store.
Oh, okay.
Which isn't great, but it's better than Epic. So
I mean,
that
it's
being
on
said,
sale now.
we currently actually have a presence in Division 2, small as it may be. The Division 2 Legion is known as the 23rd Legion, and I will be also seeking recruits to step up, or not recruits, but candidates to step up for the 23rd. See, 23rd, 32nd. The inversion thing is going to get me. Anybody who wishes to step up to take on a more active position for the 23rd Legion in Division 2 is certainly welcome to do so in order to guarantee that we can create the same stable growth mechanisms that we've cultivated recently in Destiny 2 can easily be transferred to other legions. That's what we've aimed to do, and I think it'll be quite successful. We simply need a first wave of administrative NCOs and potential lower officers to run the day-to-day affairs of the 23rd Legion. If there are no other suggestions for the time being, I will move on to cover a small detail regarding Discord channels. It's been brought to my attention that there is some demand for a voice channel specific to each I almost said region. Each legion. I will be setting up a straw poll for everyone to vote on whether they think this is a good idea or if it becomes too much internal division by separating us through too many different voice channels.
My opinion is it would create too much division. It's kind of cool right now the way it's set up, where we can have 31st and 32nd, just hop onto, let's say Fire Team A, and just have everybody join in on that, and then you just add each other via the friends link within the Blizzard app. Makes it much easier, and I think that would cause too much division if you had each individual one. That's my opinion.
I just think it would get too cluttered. Like for now, it might work, but we keep expanding. Then I don't want to be scrolling down for 3 years to find a channel that's relevant.
Well, fortunately, each channel is put into categories that you can collapse at will.
Yeah.
As for the issue of the division being raised by it, the Fire Team channels would not go away. The Legion-specific voice channels would be more intended for Legions to hold their own internal meetings and Legion-specific communication if they're implemented. The intention would not to be having everybody from the 32nd always hanging out in the 32nd channel and never going into the public channels or the fire team channels or anything like that. But it's going to be a question of how does it... what does the existence of the channel have for an effect on the behavior of the membership? So that would be the primary concern, which may very well become a case of test it and see what happens. It's worth noting that this request has come from one of our commanding officers.
I'm thinking personally, if you want to make the role of the channels to be more for communication discussion versus everyday, could create roles for the legions and hide the channels to anyone who's not in that legion. It'd only
That's
be open.
actually already in existence. Legions do
okay,
have
cool.
their own roles currently.
Well, I'm not in those, so I wouldn't know. Sorry.
No, that's alright. Are there any other concerns that anybody would care to bring up at this time?
Seems like with the Legion wanting to continue recruiting and stuff, like not wanting those extra voice channels to be something that is dividing people, and people are joining further than little group meetings, would be something you would be constantly having to announce with the addition of those channels.
Interesting point. As I said, a poll will be going out shortly, probably right after the meeting, give or take. And I'll hold the poll open for a few days to let everybody voice their opinions. And, of course, for those who maybe aren't here currently but wish to say something later, there will absolutely be the ability to go into depth about your opinion and any concerns you might have. I'm not promising that the poll will act as a purely democratic measure where 51% will make the decision for the other 49, simply that it exists as just that, a poll to gauge interest in one way or another, and should anything come to light, I reserve the Imperial veto to either say no or yes, depending on judgment calls made by command. On that note, I do believe we're fair to move on, and I would like to get to one of the more interesting things that we have to say today. The Warlord and I have been conversing quite thoroughly throughout the day, to say the least. And we have every intention, as long as there is sufficient interest, of hosting periodic and regular Destiny 2 tournaments among the membership. So first, we'll start with the easy one. We have the concept of a monthly tournament, the winner of which will receive the title of Champion of Kaldara. This will be a special title that will move from hand to hand based on who the current champion is. As long as there's interest, we will be announcing a date for the first tournament very soon, and anyone who would like to be a part of that tournament will be more than happy to throw their hat in the ring. The rules will be straightforward. We will host a series of rumbles. Whoever wins a rumble, or depending on how many people we have, the top couple people who win a rumble will advance to the next round. It'll be a relatively short phase. To get through a few rounds of rumble is not a difficult thing to get through, to say the least. Once the winners, maybe the top 3 or the top 1 member, depending on how many people we have, will advance to the next rumble. Another rumble will be held, those people will eliminate, and we'll push all the way until we reach the 6 most skilled Crucible combatants of the Empire. Those 6 will be placed in a rumble. The winner of that rumble will be declared Champion of Kaldara. The Champion of Kaldara will be granted a specific title, and probably a name color change within the Discord. This will be a rolling title, meaning 1 month afterwards, we will announce the next battle. And for 3 days, it will be a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday, a 3-day period where anybody can throw their hat in the ring to square off in a 1v1 against the current champion. If we get a large number of people eager to square off, we'll run a series of rumbles, and the top 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, depending on how many it takes, will have their shot at issuing a challenge to the person in question, to the champion, in one-on-one combat. The winner of the one-on-one match will be the champion, be it the current champion maintaining his title, or a usurper to the crown. Frodo, would you care to add anything regarding the rolling champion?
Not really. In some instances, when the time comes around, we might throw something different in it. Instead of making it just a 1v1, it'll be like a all-out mayhem rumble match, and it'll be the champion defending against 5 other people, so on and so forth. That's later down the line. But honestly, as of right now, for our basic tournament phase, it's you want a challenge, you come up, you put your hat in, fight. If you lose, try again next time. This is honestly kind of just a little bit of a bragging rights type thing.
And of course, the champion will be expected to defend his title against any legitimate challenger. Times will be mediated as necessary. It's not, I challenge you while you're out to dinner with your wife. You didn't show up, you lose. None of that. That's not going to happen. If we reach a point where the monthly challenging time has approached once again, and the current challenger, or the current champion rather, those CH words, is unwilling or unable to participate and defend their title will default back into the ether, and we will host a fresh series of Rumble matches to determine the champion. Any questions?
I'll say this right now, for anyone who is big like WWE fans, this is kind of somewhat where a lot of the inspiration came from.
I think it sounds like fun and something that's going to get people, talking with each other, playing with each other, and stuff like that. I think it could be a good thing to bring the group together as well.
That was part of the bigger plan on that one, and fuck, I lost my train of thought.
The intention is to create a little friendly competition and to start running our own events to encourage people to use other elements of the game than just, well, we do raids together. Kaldara is about much more than just a couple people to raid with. We want to have a little something for everybody. On that note, we also plan to have a grand seasonal tournament. If there's interest, we would... I'm sorry, this one's on me. This one's mine. If there is interest, I would like to announce one for Season 7, our current season. When Season 8 drops, we'll start planning the next one. And so long as Bungie keeps naming their seasons as they have been, remember Season of the Drifter, Season of Opulence, things like that, we've already got a nice, fancy gift for anybody who wins. The goal will be, again, a series of Rumble tournaments where the final winner, so each Rumble tournament will operate as 6 people go in, the top 3 scores come out. So even if you don't necessarily win your Rumble match, you come in second by a point, you still have a chance of taking that title. Then, let's say we have 12 people who are interested in the seasonal tournament. I expect to have a lot more than that. If we only get 12 even in Season 7, I'm going to be incredibly disappointed with all of you. I just want you to know that. But let's pretend for a moment we have 12 people. So we'll run one match of 6, and then another match of the other 6, and then the 3 from each of those matches that did the best will be put into a fresh match, and the winner will be crowned the champion of the seasonal tournament. With this seasonal championship comes a lifelong title. Season 7 will be a lifelong title known as the Paladin of Opulence.
Wow,
Fancy.
Isn't it?
fancy.
You're all welcome to applaud if you're interested.
You can't even want to push to talk.
I'm on push to talk, so I can't clap.
Applaud
okay.
metaphorically, you fool. What is the sound of one hand clapping?
Sounds like fapping.
Probably is.
Seriously?
Wow.
This is why we'd be demonetized.
Yep,
This will
exactly.
also bring me into my next point. We, as an empire, will eventually hit the limits of what we can all do just in our spare time for free. Therefore, an old plan is finally coming to the fore, months after it was originally intended, but there have been hiccups and setbacks. We will soon be opening a method of monetizing the empire. People will be free to donate a spare couple of bucks here and there as they see fit to crowdfund the empire's future. These crowdfundings will help to pay for the website. It's not free to maintain. They will help to pay for people who know what the hell they're doing with websites more than I do to spruce things up and make the website a better, more functional place. They will pay for numerous things, but not the least of which, and relevant to our current conversation, prize pools. We intend to also host occasional smaller tournaments where, say, $5 gets you in. $5 gets you in. The prize pool will be the $5 from every contestant gets put into a pool. The Empire takes a small portion to pay for the organizational costs and to help pay our basic operating fees. These are optional. Nobody's going to be put to a gun and told, pay to join a tournament that you don't want to participate in or leave the Empire. We're not going to do that. But, for example, $5 gets you in. If 10 people participate, that's $50. The Empire will take a portion. You'll spend $5, play a game with some friends, help fund the Empire, and still walk away with somewhere between $25 and $40, depending on what we finalize as the cut that people are comfortable with.
Would you accept Bitcoin?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, cool. It's
I
convenient
think
for me.
anything that can somewhat reliably be converted to US dollars, I'm sure we can be happy to accept. So, what I will also say, the additional funding generated by these tournaments, by donations, we'll likely set up a monthly crowdfunding service, and we'll try to find some perks to give people who are willing to crowdfund the Empire at a few bucks a month out of pocket. You know, you drink 1 or 2 less coffees from Starbucks or wherever you go, Dunkin', whatever, and you help the Empire really grow into its own. You really help to build something great. That's the long-term goal. So on that note, the funding will be used not only for the website, but if we can get enough, I would like to create something particularly special. Winners of each seasonal tournament, those who will for the rest of their lifetime in Kaldara hold the unique title of Paladin of the Season. If we can gather the funding, will also receive a free copy of the next DLC. If we can raise funding beyond that, the winner will receive the deluxe edition, and the runner-up will receive the standard version of the next DLC. Obviously, for our Season 7 tournament, if we can raise enough funds, that will mean the winner will receive the deluxe edition of Shadowkeep, which includes the year pass, and the runner-up will win a copy of Shadowkeep, but no year pass. If we can raise sufficient funding for the Imperial Treasury beyond that, I would like to open Blender, design a custom medal specifically themed around the season, contact a freelance or some such machine shop, and have an actual physical medal machined as a one-of-a-kind and shipped to the winner of that tournament. To where not only will you be the Paladin of Opulence, you'll have a goddamn physical medal to prove it. Opinions?
Sounds fucking awesome.
That sounds expensive.
I have some contacts in the machining industry. I know a few good people.
Of course you do. I mean,
Sounds
hey,
like
if nothing else, you could 3D print it. I mean, you really wanted to. Yeah, I like the idea.
Anyone else
Anyone
have
else?
anything to say?
I think it's a cool idea, and again, stuff like this is gonna bring people together, and I like that. That's good. It's good marketing on our.
I think that we should look into some way to get like bumper stickers or T-shirts for those who are really dedicated that want them. Because I would gladly put a fucking bumper sticker and wear a Kaldaran shirt. Just find a way to have them made only on order, but the profits from it still go to Kaldara.
That is absolutely a long-term goal. We need to look into a bunch of different options. It's not something we're super familiar with dealing with yet, but over the coming days and weeks, we are going to be looking at different merchandising options, gauging demand. Most places require you to merchandise like a certain number of them before they'll actually let you. So you kind of have to commit to buying a certain number. Some places it's as low as 20, others it's upwards of 1,000. So figuring out places that can do what we want them to do is definitely going to be an involving process. But I would like personally, for myself, if nothing else, a nice full-size Kaldaran flag to put on my wall.
Okay, those are definitely going to be pricey because I have price flags and they were over $100 last I checked. But yeah, I mean, if you find a place that can do like an order of 20 for merchandising, you can count me in on at least 3.
So, any feedback on the ideas of the Imperial Treasury or merchandising?
As long as we remain self-sufficient in terms of like, you know, we don't want to expand too far to where we have to incur monthly costs or something, because that's when you start having problems if you start stagnating. You need to keep all the monetary stuff purely, if possible, purely optional.
The intention is always to be optional. There will never be an express cost or a subscription fee to be a part of the Empire, to be a part of this community. The intention is not necessarily to make money. Sure, if we can find a way to make money and get big, that'd be fantastic, I'm not gonna lie. The entrepreneur in me is at full mast about the fucking notion. But the intention is to facilitate the growth of the Empire.
Yeah.
The idea is not to grow the Empire for money, the idea is to grow the treasury for the Empire. Very big distinction. And anybody who shares a concern the moment money comes up, I'm with you. I genuinely am. The idea of monetizing the Empire in any way, shape, or form is something I have actually struggled with for months, and it's why I've been hesitant, despite announcing a basic donation option months ago should be coming. It's why I've been hesitant to fully pull the trigger and go through on any one method, much less several. Money makes the world go round, and I think we have a lot of cool ideas in our head that require money to make them happen. So that has been our problem. The idea that we can make a lot happen by splitting the cost over a large number of people, $1 or $2 out of pocket shouldn't really put you out by much for most people, I would think. And it could lead to serious improvements. I'm not going to lie. If we reach the point where I can fully fund all of the Empire's ambitions and walk away with $2,000 a month extra, I would, depending on public feedback, quit my job and spend full time managing the Empire, organizing events, setting up tournaments, running videos. I'd spend 20 hours a day doing that, get sleep for 4, and go right back at it. I would love to live my life and put on my IRS report that my title is Emperor and I am employed by the Kaldaran Empire. That would be fantastic. I don't expect it to happen,
Okay.
but it would be
Can
fantastic.
you guys hear me now?
Absolutely. Welcome to the party. I've been watching you struggle with your audio over there, so I'm kind of stringing it out for you because we need you for the next part.
Okay. Now on the merchandising stuff, because we do stuff for scouts, I don't know who knows that. Now I know a couple people that can get shirts. You know, it's cheaper the more you buy, but we could do a small order as far as 4 shirts. Whatever design you would want, you can have. Patches, you can get them too. Relatively cheap, like 70 cents a patch. Yay, scouts. It's all on who you know. So I do know people. So if I could find out, get prices, give you the people that I know, and we could make that happen because I think that's a fantastic idea.
I just want to reiterate what I said. You can count me in for at least 3 of those atomic.
Oh yes, I would definitely get that. I would definitely sport that.
On that note,
hats too.
Sure. On that note, I would absolutely love every Legion, if you've got an artistically gifted member, to step forward and start putting forward patch designs. I'd love to make it available for you to buy a patch for whatever Legion you're in, and slap that shit on your jacket. Represent the Empire.
Perhaps the artists get one for free.
Yeah. That seems entirely fair. You know,
It's too bad.
winning design gets a copy for free. Absolutely.
It's too bad this wasn't decided upon, like last week or a few weeks ago, since I'll be down at Guardian Con representing. It would have been kind of nice to be able to do that. I already put Kaldara on my business cards, but it'd be kind of cool to sit there and show off, some type of design too.
Yeah, but hey, all right. There's always the next one.
Yep, there's PAX West. I'll be there.
When's PAX West?
Usually it's Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day.
Labor Day, okay. Labor Day weekend, you mean? Yep. Okay. So
Kaldara,
if we can get something together by then, it would be great to have a few of our guys who maybe want to go to PAX West take some swag with them. Show off the beauty of the Empire. Wear that shit with pride. That's what I'm talking about. Grumpy,
Yeah,
you
I'd
the
be
man.
totally down.
So are there any other comments, questions, or concerns relating to the concept of monetization, relating to the idea of merchandise, relating to prize pools? It's money. I don't want to gloss over this when we start talking about money in any way, shape, or form. Because I'm just a guy on the internet. You don't have a whole lot of reason to trust me with money. Alright? So I want to be as open and transparent about anything to do with money as possible.
Agreed. Don't.
Would be nice.
Hoping it won't be a. Yeah.
Be nice if like the YouTube. I know we have no expectation of the YouTube channel being monetized, but it would be a nice source of very minor income if it ever came down to that. I don't know if you like want to already suggest splitting channels, but I don't know if it ever gets big enough to make it worthwhile.
Well, as I said, the intention is going to be to start broadcasting gameplay. We might have a few people who have great personalities, and we can put them forward as potential faces of Kaldara if you can make it big on streaming or YouTube gaming or any silly thing like that, whatever the next platform is when YouTube shoots itself the rest of the way in the goddamn brain, the way they've been going. The point being, we absolutely want to be able to do these things. We absolutely want to hit the point where we can get the merch, we can get the swag, we can get the prize pools, we can... If I can facilitate that even a small percentage of the Empire is able to make a living off of the Empire, to make a living doing what you love and being with the people you enjoy, I will be happy to do that. I'm not promising it. I'm saying that if we can get there, I will do my damnedest to help anybody who wants to get there.
Yeah, it's a struggle. I've been doing my streaming thing. I've been affiliated for quite some time here, and I'm making a long struggle to even get up close to even thinking about partnership.
Exactly. It's effort. It's a struggle. But there's a reason that content creators of certain calibers have always gathered together into networks. There's a reason that professional gamers, esports, they gather together in networks and teams. There's a reason that shell companies do get created for this sort of thing. And if at the end of the day, I can quit my job and spend my time helping everybody manage new careers in this industry, doing this shit, having this much fun, you're damn goddamn right I will. And yes, I said damn twice because it's that damn important to me. The idea is for all of us to benefit at the end of the day. Because it's all voluntary. If I'm just sitting here trying to line my pockets, it's going to get real transparent real quick. And guess who's going to take a legal suit? This guy. Not something I want to deal with. I don't even own a suit. The last thing I need is a court date. So yes, if there are any
That's funny.
concerns,
Okay.
you can bring them forward now. You can send me a message in private if you'd rather not be the party pooper publicly. You can bring it up publicly if you want my reaction to be public, to hold me to account. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I'm gonna say it for the sheer fucking political meme value. This administration is dedicated to the notion of transparency. Some of you might be too young to remember that.
Dear
Say what now? I didn't hear that.
That's fucked up.
The difference is I won't leave you with nothing but change in your pocket and a hope washed away on the sidewalk. Oh boy. Okay. So that is the shit posting out of my system now. Does anybody have anything else to say, or shall we move forward?
I say on with it.
Very well. Now, we'll get to what I originally had planned to put at the start of the meeting, but due to absences at the time, couldn't.
I'm sorry, I was driving home.
Life gets in the way, man. I strung the whole meeting out just for you.
I truly appreciate that.
We do what we have to for our brothers in blue.
We take care of our own at Kaldara. That's for damn sure. Now, composing ourselves after that tangent, which was obviously intended for more towards the end of the meeting, I find it in the Empire's best interest every week to open the floor to each legion to grant us a report on their status and affairs. This is a chance to bring forth any problems that require solving, Imperial advice, Imperial intervention or oversight, anything that you need, resources you might require to get something done. Take a moment to take note of anything positive, take care of addressing and correcting negatives, and take a moment to recognize your greatest members, your members of the week, those who have really been stepping up their game and getting things done. So, we're going to go in numerical order for active legions, and the floor will recognize Warlord Frodo on behalf of the 31st Legion.
First off, let's make the major big announcement out of the way. For those who don't know, just a handful of days ago, Clytor, who's been with us for quite a while now, was promoted to 01 Solvix and is now the EXO of the 31st.
Congratulations, bud.
Yes,
Thank you.
congrats.
Usurp my position in like what, 3 months? Congrats.
He's been here longer than that. No, he's been here longer than
Yeah,
that.
I've been here for a
I haven't been keeping track, so point
Yeah,
is,
he has been here for a while.
it's still, the point is congratulations.
Okay, Gun. Right quick, Gun. Just let you know, Honey joined Kaldara because of Clytor, and you know how long Honey was here for. So,
All right, gentlemen.
anyways,
Focus.
so that's the for the 31st. That's the big announcement, for the week. Clytor has been promoted to my XO, which he will be seeing CO probably vary within the next few weeks because my time as 31st CO will not be permanent. Now, the next big thing is our numbers have been growing greatly. Just right when I got back from Underway, we were sitting at about 36 members. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but we're roughly mid 80s right now.
Give me exactly
So,
a couple of seconds. I know, very exacting measurement.
yep.
You're currently at 84 in the 31st.
Talk about good guessing. So we pretty much have more than doubled our numbers, which is great. And this is where I want to give the shout out to Tandang. He's not. Is he in here? No, he was in here.
I'm here.
Oh, oh shit. I can't see. Okay, my bad. He's making the strides. I'm working with him on it. We're gonna be siphoning members here on the 31st within the next week for those who don't join the Discord, because unfortunately all our announcements gets posted here, not in game. And so those who don't join the Discord, unfortunately, are going to see the purge. Obviously, everyone who's in the 31st who is here, well, you don't need to worry about it. Just make sure that my big announcement is just make sure your in-game name and your Discord name somehow they represent each other, so you don't accidentally get booted out. I'm looking, and Moves is not in here. I did want to give a shout out to him. He has been doing an excellent fucking job on trying to coordinate raids. So I want to give him just a quick shout out for that. And with that, that's pretty much all I got for now.
The final thing I'd like to say before turning the floor over, do you have any members that you would like to appoint your member of the week? The number could be anywhere from 0 to 3 per legion.
Honestly, I'm going to keep it to the I'll just put it to Clytor, Tan, and Moobs. They were the big three standing out this week.
All right. So on that note, let's see. So you said, let's see, point that to Moobs. We'll point it to Klytor. And we'll appoint it to, you said Tan?
Correct.
He's in here, so that makes this nice and easy. Congratulations, the three of you have been declared by your Legion as Member of the Week. For the following week, your names will be purple, noting your special status. I'm going to save the royal purple for that.
Congratulations, guys.
Oh, thank
Good
you.
job, you guys.
Yes,
My thanks.
congrats. Good job.
With that out of the way, I am going to turn things over, and the floor will now recognize Deer on behalf of the 32nd Legion.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so our Legion is doing very well. All the members that we have been very active. The command staff that I have is phenomenal. Mendox, his PC is down, but his activity has been stellar, even with his PC giving him shit. So I have to commend that man for being here and still being completely active, even though he cannot play. Let's see. My noteworthy players for the week. I have three. Noob plays. One. Public Cactus. It's number two. Reaper Vapes is my third one. Reaper Vapes lost his mom a little while back. He was very active. He stopped for a while because real life. He's come back. He's been very present, things like that. He's active on Discord, everything like that. So I really want to make sure that he gets noticed. Another thing that I wanted to bring up real quick, Atomic. My Legion likes the fact that you pop in to the chat, talk bullshit with us, everything like that. It's a complete and utter morale booster for some of those guys. They appreciate it. I am conveying that on to you. Please continue to do so. Also, we're wondering about the ranking system. Let's see.
Is it just me, or has he gone silent?
That's solid.
Okay.
Yeah,
He wanted to know. Okay, sorry. He wanted to know about a hardcore squad. If we could do a hardcore squad. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I'm trying to read here. Oh, yes. Well, okay, that's my stuff. Oh, one other thing. If the 32nd can have their own voice channel, if that is all possible. And I think, I'm not sure because I came home so late from doing real life bullshit with my guns to get an accurate count on how many members I have. So I do apologize for that. But other than that, I do believe that is all I have to report. Thank you for listening to my putting ass, and goodbye.
Before you go, name me those 3 people just one more time, because I'm missing one of them for your members of the week.
Sure, not a problem. That is Noob Plays,
Got him.
Public Cactus.
That was the one. Thank you.
Okay, not a problem. Not a problem whatsoever. I would like those 3 to be recognized.
Let me just
Okay,
find
and
them in the Discord. There we go. Boom. There we go.
awesome.
Sorry
Thank.
to interrupt, guys, but I got to pop out and do some real world stuff here. Thanks, and you all take care. I'll see you.
All right.
Take care, bud.
All right. Let me see.
Well,
You know
dear,
what?
I don't
Well,
see any of those guys in the chat, so would you please pass along our congratulations to them?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
all right. Let me see if I have anything else on the agenda. All right. We do not have any promotions to announce currently. Obviously, we would like to congratulate those who have stepped up and sort of received emergency promotions to their positions. If anybody has a complete list, I would be happy to accept it and read it out now. Obviously, congratulations have already been offered to Clytor. I believe the time frame is such that my congratulations absolutely have to go out to Juan among the rest of the 31st and the 32nd staff. I think everybody's pretty good where they are from what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
And
the 30-day stuff, does that go into effect now?
you are free to purge anyone from your legion who has been inactive for 30 days without submitting prior notice of inactivity.
Alright, I'll do that when I get my PC back up.
Take your time. I'm sure somebody else can cut in to help you as needed. I have...
Mendox, just send me the people you see, and I'll take care of it for you, buddy.
Okay. And I'd like to thank you, dear, for bringing up a sore subject of my busted ass PC.
Listen, listen. But see, here's the thing, man. I'm sorry I brought that up, but your devotion needs to be recognized.
Yes, but it's a sore subject because in the past 3 days I spent $1,000 and it still won't boot.
Ouch.
Oof.
Jeez.
The sad part is I've been there too, so I feel your pain.
Yes, but
Oh,
I'm
okay.
IT.
So
Well, I want to give a quick shout out to Deer for being able to complete Last Wish and Scourge of the Past. Great accomplishments for you this last week, Deer.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Listen, you've been a big help in me doing that. Your instructions have been on point. Your patience has been godly.
Well, thanks. It's what I tried to do.
now, something I do want to bring up. It's something that me and Atomic mentioned earlier when me and him were kind of just talking about our day-to-day shit. So we want to really start implementing more use of the website. So in this, and when by the end of this understand this will help towards definitely with promotions and whatnot. So what we're recommending is that raid teams Crucible teams, Gambit teams, so on and so forth, log their activity on the website. We'll probably make a special forum for it, so on and so forth. But to log the activity, maybe how many rounds you won, how many rounds you lost, and who all was there. Because activity, and when we first designed the ranking system for a prior game, activity was one of those big promoting points, and it's still something that we are promoting today. But if we can get the in a sense the logs of it all, everyone logging everything of their activity within game, it will go a long way for fast tracking or even just getting someone promoted who is truly dedicated on rising through the ranks.
It might help having a link to the website in Discord somewhere, somehow, so it can expedite that process.
Customs checkpoint. If you go up to the immigration and recruitment tab, there's a customs checkpoint, and it's actually right there in the first line of the billet.
Oh, and
And also, it's just
the
KaldaranEmpire.com. So
Yeah, yeah, I just saw it. Yep, thank you so much. That made
we
it so much
actually,
simpler.
yeah, we actually I do pay out of pocket to keep a web domain for ease. And I'm sorry, I cut somebody off, but I just had to get that out there. Go ahead.
It's okay. In regards to the website, one of my friends does web crap and owes me a shitload of money, so I will see if I can get him to rebuild the site. I'll send him to it and look at.
Awesome.
Yeah, that would definitely be a help, because right now it's kind of barren. Plus, a lot of it we also need I will say like a designer, graphic designer, someone
Yeah,
who
that's what
can
he
help
does.
us. Awesome.
All right. So yes, mission reports. I'll set up a basic template. They'll be fairly short, take you a minute to fill out, but it'll allow us to keep better track of who's actually participating in Imperial operations, who's in the clan just to collect their free engram, and who's here because they enjoy the people, they want to play with the people. Who's going into the Crucible with a 3 to 6 man team of people with Kaldarans shoulder to shoulder, ripping faces to shreds. Who's completing raids? Who's running Gambit? All of that. We absolutely want all of those people to be recognized for their participation in official Kaldaran operations. So, that is absolutely the goal of that. While it will never, or should never, become a requirement, we would appreciate that if there's a team, one of you volunteer to just file the report. It's going to go a long way to potentially helping you move up, to getting you the recognition you deserve for all the effort you put in around here.
Remember, we're pushing on 300 of you fucks. It's hard to keep track. This will definitely ease everything up.
With all of that done, Frodo, do we have anything else we'd like to broach while we're here?
Not that I can think of. I think now would be probably a good time to give the floor to everyone else, to any suggestions, any, questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, so on and so forth.
Agreed. Would anyone like the floor?
I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
Yeah, I'll just wait till everybody else is gone.
Anyone?
Slightly off topic, but it's related to gaming. If anyone ever want to try out Hunt Showdown, it's on a free weekend right now. Good game. I think I posted about it in the free games chat, so just saying.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
So it's only a $30 game to begin with. I mean, it's worth it.
Seems we've exhausted all the talking points for the evening.
We can
Yep.
start getting into random stuff. That's absolutely hilarious, but that's probably not appropriate for State of the Empires. I think we're done
I would
here.
like to terminate the State of the Empire before doing that. What I will say is, new documentation will be circling around amongst officers and NCOs very shortly, and a publicly available document that I have worked up will also be circulating, detailing the ranking structure, in order, the name and position of each rank, and the sort of expectations and like guidelines for each rank. So if you want to understand what a rank means, this will be the document to consult. If you want to move up in rank, absorbing the spirit of what's being said about the rank is a great way to do that. So this should help to clear the air on any confusion regarding the mobile infantry rank structure. I'll give you one final chance to voice anything before we go ahead and call the State of the Empire.
Oh, I was gonna say that in the future we may want to look into getting people assembled for guided games. It may help us expand a lot quicker.
I actually don't know how guided games really work, to be honest.
So like one or you need two clan members together and in a fire team, and then they just say that they're open for people, and then people can kind of decide between like
Is
what
it just me or
clans.
did he cut out?
That was just you.
So like we kind of can put ourselves out there as like people that want to help, and it kind of helps get randos into the equation on just
No, I
having them
see.
join.
It's a good way to get your name out there as, hey, we know how to do the raids, we do the raids, let us help you. You might want to consider joining.
Exactly.
So that's what guided games are. See, because they put that feature in forever ago, and I just went, I know nothing about this, and I'm too busy to go research it. So thank you for shedding a little light on that for us. With that, this meeting's been running a little over an hour. I think we've accomplished quite a bit. I think we've announced quite a bit. I hope people are as excited as we are for the things, obviously, we've got in the pipeline. And in coming days and weeks, documents are going to circulate, many of which are already ready and will probably circulate in a few minutes. Any bunch of plans obviously being made. Details will circulate on the funding aspects of the Empire, how you can go about doing that. Obviously, we'll establish a clear-cut method of transparency for where the money is allocated, which is more than I can say about Congress.
Heyo.
And
You only gonna limit it to Congress? Jesus.
well, technically speaking, Congress is the one that allocates money. Technically.
Fair enough.
Anyways,
So, information on merch will absolutely be coming shortly. Anybody who's got graphic design under the belt, or even if you just have ideas, I do have some introductory graphic design levels, and I can at least work up some rough concepts. And that should certainly help to get us to a point where we have something to show for our efforts. Not just
This is where the fun
progress in the
begins.
game. Yes, but not just progress in the game, but hopefully genuine and tangible symbols of your status as Kaldarans. And I
If you
hope
need
that
help with
excites
that,
some
let
of
me
you as
know.
much as it does me.
I still want 3 shirts minimum.
5 at least. Gotta have at least one for every weekday.
Oh, those 3
Goddamn.
flags you were talking about. I was like,
He
okay.
does. He also wants 3 flags.
you see, me, I want a few of the Kaldaran shirts, and on the back it says Warlord.
I want one that says service guarantees citizenship on the back.
I want
Would you like
one
to
where
do
Oh,
more?
that I would like. Yeah.
the
That,
chest is just the Kaldaran logo with the words Kaldaran Empire, and on the back it just says, "Would you like to know more?"
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can get that behind that. Oh my god.
Also, if we get to the point where we can make like some Kaldaran jackets and then attach your unit patch to that shit,
Dude,
Oh
heck yeah.
that's that good shit right there.
That definitely would be
Technically,
nice.
if you use the same screen for everything, you can make anything. I used the screen. So shirts, jackets, sweatshirts, all that crap can be done off of one screen.
nice.
So at what point do we start role playing so hard that we end up accidentally impersonating veterans?
God damn it.
Way to go and ruin the moment, man.
Okay, so one more thing I want to put out there. So we made the announcement of the seasonal tournament. For those obviously the winner gets to be called Paladin of Opulus. It's a permanent title that you'll always have. Along with you will be getting a copy of the digital deluxe of Shadowkeep as
So
a
long
prize.
as we can raise the funding, yes.
Yep. I'd be willing to put in a little bit extra. Push comes to shove. But do note, and unless Atomic has any objections to it, as of right now, the signups for the tournament are starting.
I'll set up a let's see, what's a good channel to use?
Yeah, well,
You know
we
what?
could
1 second.
Yeah, you can add me.
Alright, there's a new channel titled Destiny 2 Tournaments in the Guardians of Kaldara. There should be. Or... oh, there it is. It's down at the bottom. So I'm actually going to move that to the top right under Warmind. And anybody wishing to participate in any upcoming tournament, post in there. That way we've got a tangible log that we can work with for the future.
I will say this because we're gonna have 2 tournaments going on right now. Essentially, we're gonna have our monthly tournament just for like a bragging rights thing, and we're gonna have our big seasonal tournament. Make sure you specify which tournament you want to be in.
When will the dates for the tournaments be announced?
Those will be announced soon. We have to see who we've got and figure out what the timetables will look like. Because the tournament's not going to just be one day. It'll probably take a couple days to get everybody who wants to participate in the tournament into a match. And then a final bout to determine the winner.
But we're gonna go
Alright.
ahead and allow because we're not gonna sign up start now. We're gonna allow at least a couple week window to get enough people signing up. As for the monthly tournament, I'm not sure if we want to start right away, Kiernan, or do we want to start that for next month?
Honestly, as far as I'm concerned, we're only about halfway through the month. We could absolutely host a tournament, and in the next few days or so, get our first champion on the block. I don't see why not. If there's enough people interested, we can absolutely get our first champion of Kaldara. Which also will give you the right to set your username to champion whatever your username is, and then your legion number. If you're interested.
Bragging rights.
Kaldara recognizes greatness. How many places can say that?
Fair enough.
I mean, can say versus should say.
Can say without lying.
Good point. We wrapped up State of the Empire, or are we still on that?
We're still in it.
Yeah, we're concluding it with these messages about the tournament, and then we'll be out.
Right.
Yep. I'll make another notice on this. It just kind of popped in my head. This is for just 31st and 32nd COs and XOs. Go ahead and if there's anyone who has not joined the Discord yet, make the announcement to probably in their best interest to join, but B, do make the announcement that hey, we have a couple tournaments going on. One which includes DLC or upcoming DLC. So that way we're not getting just the same core group of people in here. I would like to see 50 plus members between both groups going in on this.
All right. And on that note, I want to give a nice little shout out to the one person who decided to use YouTube's live chat function, Cali Playground. Keep it up. We'll be here every week. I don't know who
I shared it. I shared it on my Twitter and on my Facebook page as well.
Excellent.
Already have 5 subscribers. Feel proud.
Sweet. I should have a good 30 or 40 right now, given the size of the empire.
Okay, I'll go onto YouTube.
See, you just gotta browbeat him into subscribing. That's how it works. And you better hit that bell notification. Otherwise, what's the point?
I don't do notifications on my iPad. I just check occasionally. Sorry.
Oh, then I would get my notifications about fucking Steven Crowder and whatnot. So.
All right. On that note, I would like to thank everybody who has either watched or participated in this State of the Empire. It's going to be a great time moving forward. June is shaping up to be great. July's looking better, and we'll be facing another Legion real soon. So, with that, I'm going to end the State of the Empire officially, but everybody's welcome to hang around and chat if they're not busy. Everyone have yourselves
congrats
a great
to everybody who got member of the week, and yeah, it's been good seeing